Welcome back to the Rad City Design Studio. I'm Mary, and this week I want to show you how easy it is to make your own ring blanks for your resin jewelry. So let's jump right in. If you watched last week's video, you may have seen me make a wire braid, but in case you didn't, let's make one together. You can really use whatever size and type of wire that you want for this, but I wanted my ring to be very dainty, so I used 20 gauge copper wire. I folded my wire in half, and I have a little hand vise that I use to hold the loose ends. Then I use the loop at the top to wrap around a C-hook that I've put into my drill. If your wire is a bit thicker, you could probably clamp it directly in the drill, but mine was kind of too thin for that. I hold the wire nice and taut and then squeeze the trigger on my drill, causing the wire to spin. Now you can do this as loosely or as tightly as you like, but I tend to go a little bit tighter. Now, I use my hammer to flatten this wire out a bit. This is going to add strength to the wire, and it also gives a really cool braided effect to the finished product. Next, I took my bare copper, along with a few other pieces I made recently, outside. You can also do this inside if you have a very well ventilated area, but we're using liver of sulfur today, and it literally smells like rotten eggs, so be very cautious. I had a little plastic vitamin jar full of hot water, and I added a small amount of liver of sulfur. You can always add more, but this usually works pretty well for me. Mix your water very well until all of the gel has dissolved, and then add in your metal. I like to use this garden stake as a hook so that I don't have to fish it out with my fingers to get my items back out. Let the pieces sit in the liquid until they start to turn colors. This is going to happen pretty quickly, so you want to keep an eye on it. At first they'll look slightly blue, and then gray, and then black when they come out of the liquid. The color will depend on the metal type and how long you left it in the liquid. So you could definitely experiment with this and see what you like best. I tend to just go straight for that dark black look because I like to polish it. Next, I capped my liver of sulfur jar. Then I took my items back inside. I added a good amount of baking soda or sodium bicarbonate to a plastic cup and then added water and made sure that it dissolved. Then I added my pieces into that water. The baking soda is going to neutralize the liver of sulfur and stop that color change from happening. I let them rest for a moment. I poured out that baking soda water, and then I rinsed them again with just plain clear water. Now, just a heads up, you can also add baking soda to the jar of liver of sulfur to neutralize it. Do not pour that down your drain or in your yard until you've neutralized it. It will be toxic to animals, and it could mess up your septic system if you have one. Okay, so let's put our ring together. When you oxidize your copper, you can leave it whatever color it turned out, but I prefer to buff the copper to pull out some of those brassy highlights from the ring. I fitted my rotary tool with a polishing bit, then slowly and carefully let it brush away some of the oxidation. I made a small jump ring from that same copper, then laid it on my silicone pad. I filled it with UV resin, and then I held my actual ring part in place on top of it while I cured. And I cured this for about 2 minutes to make sure it was completely set. I added a bit more resin on top of where the wires were sitting to make sure that the wires were nice and secured by the resin. Now I have a ring base that I can use to make my ring. So let's make something really pretty to put on top of it. I have these super cute marquee rhinestones from Amazon that I love to use to make flowers. I started by placing a round rhinestone down in a little puddle of resin on my silicone pad. Then I placed 6 rhinestones around it. I went ahead and cured this, and then in the gaps of each petal, I added more resin and carefully laid another rhinestone of a different shade in each gap. Now, these are going to sit slightly on top of the first rhinestones, and that will give it a little bit of depth and texture. Makes it look really pretty. I turned my flower upside down, then I laid it on a sponge to make sure that it stayed stable and didn't tilt one way or another. I added more resin, and then I centered my ring blank right in the middle. I cured this from every possible angle for about 2 minutes. And just like that, I have the cutest, daintiest rings, perfect for spring. These are so cute and like they'd make excellent party favors or bridesmaids gifts or just something fun to wear for a night out. I hope you had a really great time today, and if you did, be sure to subscribe so you always get the newest tutorials. Go make something awesome this week, and as always, stay rad. If you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to share my resin tutorial playlist with your friends.